When the world seemed to stop, we carry on, continue to dream and create. We don't just work with what we know. We innovate to adapt, so you can drive your career forward. We don't just make you feel welcome. We provide everyone an equal opportunity to succeed. We don't stop at just enough. We go extra to care and provide, so you can brave the world safely. Times aren't the same, but we've always been different. We are concentrics. We dream different. We create different. We embrace different.
There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link. First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard. If you're qualified, click Submit Resume link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Welcome to the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, the country's first Polytechnic U. PUP is a state-run university governed by Republic Act 8292, known as the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, and its implementing rules and regulations contained in the Commission on Higher Education Memorandum Circular No. 4, Series of 1997. It is home to more than 70,000 students, making it the largest state university in the Philippines in terms of student population. It is the university's commitment to give qualified and talented students access to quality and responsive education to aid them in the achievement of their dreams and the improvement of their lives. True to its commitment of making education accessible to all, the university has strategically established campuses and branches all over Luzon. PUP boasts of its roster of 1,483 full-time and part-time faculty members and 707 administrative employees. The faculty and employees perform the collective goal of training, servicing, and supporting the university's stakeholders. From its humble beginnings in 1904, PUP was originally established as the Manila Business School, primarily for the training of personnel for government service and to provide skills needed for private employment. 4 years later, the Manila Business School was renamed Philippine School of Commerce, or PSC, and merged with the Philippine Normal School from 1933 to 1946. Through the virtue of Republic Act 778, PSC was renamed to Philippine College of Commerce, or PCC, in 1952. In April 1, 1978, PCC was converted into a chartered state university now known as the Polytechnic University of the Philippines by virtue of Presidential Decree No. 1341 issued by the President of the Republic of the Philippines. PUP truly has come a long way from a business school to a premier polytechnic university, the very first in the country. Every year, around 50,000 graduating high school students, mostly from economically challenged families, take the Polytechnic University of the Philippines College Entrance Test, or PUP set, and hope to become one of the 10,000 who will be given a chance to be new PUPians. At present, the university offers more than 80 programs in the graduate and undergraduate levels, with its strategic direction of making the colleges vertically articulated. Graduate School. College of Accountancy and Finance. College of Arts and Letters. College of Architecture and Fine Arts. College of Business Administration. College of Communication. College of Computer and Information Sciences. College of Education. College of Engineering. College of Law. College of Political Science and Public Administration. College of Social Sciences and Development. College of Science. College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management. College of Human Kinetics. Institute of Technology. PUP further strengthens its open university system through expanded tertiary education equivalency and accreditation program and the non-traditional system program. It caters to borderless educational system that aims to reach many learners as possible. For more than a century of existence, countless outstanding achievements have raised PUP to the level of a national comprehensive university. With the vision to transform the university into an epistemic community, PUP subscribes to the idea that a university should have an extensive research and extension development culture. Proof to this are numerous research undertakings of the university. Each year, PUP surpasses national passing rate in licensure examinations and ranks among the top in different academic disciplines. Has also institutionalized academic exchange and international cooperation with various countries all over the world through its Office of International Affairs. Today, PUP is relishing its successes, and its students are enjoying unprecedented academic opportunities, an enhanced campus environment, upgraded colleges, state-of-the-art technology, and nationally and internationally recognized programs. It has gone far from what it was more than a century ago. This is mainly due to the support given by the government, the PUP community, and its benefactors. With the combined efforts, PUP will continue to be a partner in nation building and in poverty alleviation for the marginalized sector of the society with quality, responsive, and relevant education as a tool. PUP, the country's first polytechnic youth.
Allow me to share with you my vision for the university. I envision PUP to become the pioneering and leading national polytechnic university in the 21st century. With a national polytechnic university status, it will bring more opportunities for the university to further strengthen its academic programs and improve organizational performance as an institution for higher education. In pursuit for this vision, my mission for PUP is for it to recognize its catalytic role for national development. PUP will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities through a re-engineered polytechnic education. By re-engineering, we look into the existing processes and programs in order to achieve higher quality of academic programs and services following the principles of effectiveness and efficiency. With this mission in mind, I have formulated 10 pillars as my reform agenda for the university. Pillar 1. Dynamic, transformational, and responsible leadership. Empower academic and administrative leaders by following the core principles of good governance to create collective growth and unity. Here I would like to highlight an innovation by introducing the development of an integrity management plan to assess, plan, and implement anti-corruption strategies that will secure the institution against corruption and abuse. Likewise, asset management and resource generation will be aggressively pursued to ensure productivity and finance the implementation of the plans and projects for the university. Pillar 2. Responsive and innovative curricula and instruction. We aim to provide world-class polytechnic education that responds to national and global needs by developing intellectually challenging curricula and design academic programs that are based on industry demands to provide the learners with adequate and relevant competencies and skills and prepare them for a successful and rewarding careers. In a rapidly changing world, we recognize the paradigm shift in curriculum to outcome-based education with lifelong learning approach. Pillar 2 also sits on the framework of internationalization of Philippine higher education through transnational education by promoting academic mobility among faculty and students and global dimension into the curricula and teaching process. Pillar 3. Enabling and productive learning environment. Following education in Industry 4.0, we aim to increase and enhance the use of new technology to enable student learning and engagement, as well as advanced teaching process and methodology through new and state-of-the-art facilities that will support the overall learning and teaching experience in the university. Pillar 3 likewise includes campus development and the provision of conducive learning centers and facilities for students and faculty. Pillar 4. Holistic student development and engagement. We will empower students as well as rounded learners and active young leaders as we open opportunities for various academic mobility and venues for honing skills and personal development, being the principal stakeholder of the university. Recognize academic freedom as a form of self-expression and a platform to showcase students' intellect, skills, and creativity. Pillar 5. Empowered faculty members and employees. Likewise, we are looking into the holistic development of our faculty and employees as productive, competent, and experts in their respective fields. We will encourage our faculty roster through formal education, capacity building, research and extension initiatives, faculty immersion, and other academic engagements, both local and abroad. We will ensure that both our faculty and employees will have a vibrant career development path as public servants in this state university. Pillar 6. Vigorous research production and utilization. We will continue to strengthen the research culture in the university by promoting discovery and innovation through increasing disciplinary and collaborative research integration across academic disciplines to create new knowledge, utilize research findings, and develop innovative products. Pillar 7. Global Academic Standards and Excellence. Achieve the highest levels of recognition in quality and compliance standards from CHED, AACUP, and other international accrediting and regulatory bodies for higher education. We will intensify our efforts to achieve and sustain better academic performance and continue to excel as a top-performing school in various professional licensure examinations and produce board top-notchers, as well as sustain our status of being the most preferred graduates of employers. Likewise, we aim to establish and to be recognized as centers of development and excellence in our academic programs. Pillar 8. Synergistic, productive, strategic networks and partnerships. Synergize and forge strategic linkages and partnerships across all sectors of society and the global community in line with the overall plans and programs of the university. Establish alliance with the government, industry sector, NGOs, and the academe will lead to resource sharing, program support, and research collaborations beneficial for all. Pillar 9. Active and sustained stakeholders engagement. Harness a healthy and harmonious organization by empowering all its stakeholders, both internal and external, through open communication networks, consultative and participative undertakings, and team-building activities, recognizing that all stakeholders can greatly contribute towards the betterment of the university. Pillar 10. Sustainable social development programs and projects. Expand access to education, knowledge building, and information dissemination through sharing of expertise and resources for community development. Support inclusivity approach in education by embarking on Education on Wheels, which aims to bring access to education closer to communities, following the principle of no one will be left behind. As the University of the People, we should bring the university closer to their hearts to serve their needs and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. Our institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan.
Hi schoolmates! Ako si Sir Dennis ang makakasama ninyo dito sa inyong paboritong online tambayan kung saan tampok ang mga nakaka-proud at huwarang PUPians. Muli, samahan niyo akong maghatid ng kaalaman and everything you have to know dito lamang sa Pinakausap-usapan sa Pamantasan! Ba yan? Nung last episode, dalawa lang kami. Ngayon, mag-isa ko na lang. Bakit mag-isa ko na lang? Pero alam nyo, meron akong nalaman eh. Ha? Meron daw isang estudyante na nangahas na gusto daw ako makasama ngayong episode na ito. Ang pangalan yata niya ay Eric, no? Pero nasaan na ba si Eric? Kasi tawagan ko. Wait lang. Ito, nako. Ito, wait lang. Ay, wait lang. Pindutin ko muna. Ayun. Wait lang, ayan. Nako, saan na nga ba itong si Eric na to? Ringing.
Hello?
Oh, hi Eric!
Sir Dennis?
Oo, si Sir Dennis nga to. Balita ko, ikaw din makakasama ko ngayong episode na to. Nasaan ka na, anak?
Papunta na po, pasensya na.
Okay, sige ha. Antayin kita, okay?
Sige po.
Paparating na daw. Oh! Ikaw ba si Eric? Hi!
Eric
Ah.
nga po pala, sir.
Eric?
Eric Matic.
Eric Mati? Oh my...
Sir, Eric Matic. Eric Matic.
Matic pala. Ay, ka nga buko. Minsan kasi talaga yung tenga ko rin na. Matic pala, oo. Eric Matic. O, ano bang bata ka? Ba't parang hapos na hapos ka naman? Tsaka
Sobra, sir.
parang ang dami mong dala, Eric. Ano bang nangyari?
Ito na nga po, sir.
Oh.
May sinot kami kanina.
Talaga?
Interview namin siya.
Mm.
Grabe, sir. Sobrang husay. Grabe.
Ay, nako. Speaking of husay, for sure PUP yan na naman yan.
Siyempre, sir. Isa
Galing
lang
talaga
naman siya sa most outstanding student sa
Talaga?
buong Pilipinas.
Buong Pilipinas!
At ito pa, sir.
Akalain,
Ito
ano pa?
Consistent horror student daw.
Horror?
Ay,
Horror?
honor student ng
liwanag.
batch 2018.
Honor student?
Siyempre, pag ganun, sir,
Oo.
matik na, di ba?
Oo.
Usually, valedictorian na siya.
Yeah, tama. Posibleng ganun. Pero sino nga ba itong nung tinutukoy mong yan?
Panoorin niyo po. Ito na, sir.
Yes.
Humandang ma-inspire sa kanyang kwento ng sipag at talino. Ipinapakilala si Romeo Latoza Jr. dito sa
Tatak PUP yan!
I'm Romeo B. Latoza Jr. I'm 20 years old. I'm a graduate of the Bachelor of Arts in English degree from the College of Arts and Letters, batch 2018. Memorable siya because you will face or you will earn lots of things along the way. Marami akong beses na nabigo. Like, for example, nabigo sa pagkuha ng goal for that SEM, or nabigo sa pagkuha ng award na yun, or like nabigo sa pagtapos ng project or whatnot. PUP helped me in a way that the values I was able to demonstrate or exercise in achieving those goals, PUP is the one who made me earn it. Like yung value of patience, yung value of resiliency, yung value of being resourceful, yung value of being humble. My dream talaga kasi is to become a PhD. I really want to become a doctor someday. I really want also to get promoted sa work. So I just want to be happy. Yun lang. The things you will learn inside PUP, you would really use it, or it's something that you can really use once you step out of the outside world. So always be resilient, always be patient, always be thankful, and remember, the journey might be difficult, but trust me, the reward that will wait for you at the end is really something worth it. Ako si Romeo B. Latoza Jr., 3-time national top 10 best judge of the Philippines, magna cum laude and top 4 class valedictorian of PUP class of 2018, and isa sa mga top 10 regional awardees ng 57th Search for 10 Outstanding Students of the Philippines, Tatak PUP yan.
Wow, talagang umaangat ang mga PUP-yan sa iba't ibang larangan, di ba? O at alam mo ba, tatak na talaga natin mga PUP-yan ng talino at galing.
Siyempre, sir, kagaya na lang namin mga taga-COC.
Oh, talaga?
Kilala kami maging bida pagdating sa media.
Ay, gusto ko yan. Sige nga, matry nga natin. Paano? Sige nga,
Wait lang.
pakita mo nga.
Yan lang pala eh.
O ba? Makapaghanda talaga, oh. Sige.
What's up, PUP yan? Ako nga para si Eric. Eric Matic, ang inyong school buddy para sa pinakausap-usapan sa pamantasan.
Wow, naman! Galing! Pwede ka na maging director.
Sir,
Ano?
host. Si sir talaga pala biro. Maging host po yung
Ay, host ba? Siyempre, joke lang yun, Eric. Alam mo naman, pag tatak PUP yan, mahusay.
Siyempre naman, kagaya ko na lang po, sir. Pagkatapos na ito, didiretso na po ako ng Asmin.
Yan, very
Sa
good.
makeup class ko po.
Oo.
Kasi sir,
Ano?
saan po yung Asmin?
Ayan na nga ba sinasabi ko. Hasmin lang, di mo pa alam.
Hindi
Ilang buwan ka na dito sa PUP,
Sir,
Maine.
talaga.
Di mo alam
Hindi
kung
talaga.
saan yung...
Sabi po kasi nila,
Oh.
pag galing po dito sa Maine,
Mm.
sasakay pa ako ng isang tricycle.
Okay.
Nandun daw po yung graduate school, tsaka
Yes.
yung College of Tourism,
Mhm.
Hospitality, Transportation and Management.
Ay, ang galing mo doon. Okay.
Kabisado ko.
Tumpak ka dyan, Eric. Kaya naman, para sagutin ang iyong katanungan tungkol dyan, at
Yun.
para matagpuan o makita kung saan nga ba ang iba't ibang colleges dito sa PUP Maine,
Yun.
panoorin mo doon.
Thank you, sir.
Para sa ating question for this episode, saan nga ba matatagpuan ang iba't ibang colleges dito sa main campus? First off, ang tahanan ng mga eskolar ng bayan, ang PUP Main Campus. Kilala na ang PUP Santa Mesa bilang main campus ng buong PUP community. Dito nagsimulang itinatag ang lahat ng colleges. buildings, and libraries bago pa man ito nagkaroon ng iba't ibang branches sa iba't ibang lugar. Kung nagtataka kayo kung nasa ng iba nating mga schoolmates, we are here to find out. One tricycle away from PUP Main ang building ng COC, College of Communication. Dito ang tahanan ng ating mga schoolmates na talaga nga namang kilala na sa pagiging bida sa media. Dito rin natin matatagpuan ng PUP Theater, kung saan ginaganap ang mga theater plays and events para sa ating mga scholar ng bayan. Next stop from COC ay ang SEA, College of Engineering and Architecture. Ang building na ito ay binubuo ng dalawang colleges, ang CAFA, College of Architecture and Fine Arts, at CE, College of Engineering. Dito nagmumula ang mga magagaling nating mga schoolmates na talaga nga namang pambato pagdating sa mga licensure exams. Konting kembot lang from SEA ay mapapadpad na kayo sa Condotel. Dito naman nalalagi ang ilan sa ating mga PUPian senior high school students. Matatagpuan sa kalye ng Pureza ang PUP iTech, na tahanan ng mga PUPians na kumuha ng ladderized programs o 3-year degree programs. Ang ating last stop ay walang iba kundi ang MH Del Pilar Campus na kilala rin sa tawag na Hasmin Hostel ng ating mga schoolmates. Dito matatagpuan ang graduate school at mga kapwa nating isko at iska sa College of Tourism, Hospitality, and Transportation Management.
Ayun naman pala.
Yes,
Naku,
diba?
may share ko nga yan, sir, sa mga classmates ko. Para di na kami maligaw dito.
Tama Eric. At saka syempre, para ma-familiarize na rin sila kung saan mga ba yung iba't ibang colleges na nabanggit, di ba?
Tama, sir. Tama. Maraming salamat po talaga, sir.
Yes. Naku, pero Eric ha, baka mamaya pagpunta mo doon, hindi ka na bumalik dito sa main.
Bakit naman po?
Syempre, ano yun? College of Tourism, Hospitality, and Transportation Management.
Hospitality?
Oh. Yun, hospitality.
Hospitality!
Oo.
Sa sobrang hospitable nila, sir.
Yun nga.
Baka magpa-ship na ako ng course.
Yun, nako, baka mapaship ka bigla. Nako, Eric, wag mo akong binibiro-biro dyan. Pero maraming, aside from that, alam mo ba, na marami ring mga nagagandahan at nagagapuhan daw dyan sa mga schoolmates natin.
Siyempre naman, sir. Lalayo ka pa ba?
Oh.
Tabi muna.
Doon nga sa City HTM.
Kala ko dito. At kung nagagandahan naman, itong org na to,
Yes.
ganda,
Oh,
talino,
oh.
tapang ang mayroon sila, sir.
Ay, that's very interesting.
So,
Parang feeling ko kilala ko yan eh.
Abay, kilala talaga sila, sir. At para mas makilala pa sila ng ating mga schoolmates,
Ito na nga, Eric,
Ayun na,
kilalanin na natin ang natatanging pambansang demokratikong organisasyong pangkababaihan dito sa Orgaling!
Hi schoolmates! Ako si Maya, Secretary General ng Gabriela Youth PUP, ang natatanging pambansang demokratikong organisasyon pangkababaihan sa loob ng campus. Gabriela Youth, also known as GY, is a nationwide mass organization of young girls from various colleges and universities. It aims to instill awareness among students, especially women, about women's rights and their significant role in the nation's struggle for genuine freedom and democracy.
For the annual activities ng Gabriela Youth, meron kami gagawin ng monologue, tulong eskwela, masalang regalo, Lingap Gabriela at Roto. Yung masalang regalo, dahil nga masalan siya, nangalap kami ng mga donation, kahit hindi tulad ng sanitary napkin, tissue, feminine wash, na binibigay namin dun sa mga kababalikan.
Tuwing February 14, merong activity na ginagawa ang Gabriela kasama ang 1 billion rising para wakasan ang karahasan laban sa kababaihan. Ang protesta dito ay nasa forma ng pagsasayaw para tumindig sa pang-aabuso at iba't ibang forma ng karahasan. Nung nakaraan lamang, ang tema ng 1 billion rising ay Rise, Resist, Unite.
Gabriela Youth also launches campaigns and activities that will uphold the democratic rights of women inside and outside the campus. Meron kami tinatawag na Girl Talk at bukod pa rito, naglulansa din kami ng mga orientation, focus group discussion, forum and conference na kung saan nagbibigay kami ng educational discussions tulad na lamang ng violence against women and basic women's orientation.
Ang hinihikayat lahat
ng biktima ng violence against women, kabataan, kababaihan na magsalita hinggil sa kanilang masamang nakaraan. At para sa mas mabilis na access ng pagsusumbong, inaanyayahan din namin ang lahat na i-like at i-share ang page ni Gabby, ang Gabriella's Anti-Sexual Harassment Chatbot.
Grabe! Tunay nga nakakahanga, di ba? Nakakahanga ang mga layunin at mga nagawa ng Gabriela Yu.
Siyempre sir, totoo po yan. Kaya dahil dyan, bigyan naman natin sila ng isang masindyado. Palakpakan!
At ito ha, believe din talaga ako sa dedikasyon ng mga kabataang ito. Dito mo talaga mapapatunayan, Eric, na ang kabataan
Ay ang pag-asa ng bayan.
yes, tama naman.
Kaya sa aking kapwa schoolmates, sana patuloy nating ipaglaban ang gender equality
Yes.
at women's rights.
Correct ka dyan, Eric. At alam ba, in fairness din naman sa'yo, Eric, ha, nailaban mo ang pag-host mo dito sa pinakausap-usapan sa pamantasan. Laban lang, di ba?
Siyempre naman sir, gusto ko po talaga to. Tsaka isa pa, lodi po kita dito.
Ay, nambola ka ba naman talaga? Nambola
Lodi
ka
kita
pa.
sir, lodi. Pero sir, in all seriousness po,
Wow.
marami pong salamat. Napakalaking opportunity po nito.
Wow.
And nakaka-inspire po talaga.
Wow, speaking of inspire, sana Eric, no, hindi lang ikaw yung na-inspire, kundi na-inspire din natin yung ating mga schoolmates sa mga napag-usapan natin kanina, mga kwentong nakakabilib ng ating mga PUP yan.
Hindi lang na-inspire sir.
Yes!
Nasagot din natin ang ilang sa mga katanungan ng ating kapwa schoolmates.
Correct! Kaya naman, abangan ang iba pang mga susunod na episode, schoolmates, para maging updated sa mga usap-usapan. At syempre, para malaman din natin kung nakapasa nga ba sa audition si Eric by following our social media account.
For Facebook, hanapin lang ang PUP Create TV and follow us on Twitter at PUP TV.
Yes, and guys, you know the drill. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at PUP Create TV. Di ba? O siya, mga schoolmates, hanggang sa susunod na usapan dito sa inyong paboritong online tambayan, ito ang Pinakausap-usapan sa Pamantasan! Galing dito ngayon. Kasi kumakain. Come on! Nawala na. Sorry.
Eric Matic.
Emerson is a global technology and engineering leader. We operate in over 150 countries. We are 110,000 employees worldwide. And here in the Philippines, we have over 2,000 employees.
My name is Nikki Florento. I'm from Dell Philippines. I'm handling the university relations and services hiring.
Pagasa Steel supplies concrete reinforcing bars to the Philippines' booming construction industry. We have been the leading supplier of quality steel bars for the past 52 years.
EGS is an Alorica company. It is one of the fastest growing BPO companies in the Philippines right now.
I'm Cecil Venancio and I'm Branding and Communications Director of Sykes Asia.
We don't decide whether you're from a top-tier university or a state university. We decide based on our assessments that includes exams and interviews. Having said that, a lot of Dell's workforce in the Philippines are from PUP.
55 to 80 hires annually, those coming from PUP alone. And as a matter of fact, 14 of the homegrown employees who started from staff and supervisor have been promoted.
Currently, we have 13 employees from the PUP. They're working in a different field, so most of them are engineer, some are in sales, most of them are in the higher position.
There's a huge pool of students that we can really harvest from, and we know the reputation that they bring. So we're glad that we have a university like PUP that we can rely on for our future employees.
I love the graduates of PUP. They're not only fun to work with, but you can rely on them. They are very, very dependable.
PUP graduates are an exact match and fit to Pagasa Steel's mission and vision.
The reason why we prefer the PUP graduates is the fact that we noticed that they have a common denominator, very hardworking. See, whatever happens, they'd still work. Even if it's raining, they'd still come to work. You give them additional tasks, they'd accept. They are resilient.
Very passionate aside from being resilient, because we can see that they're very dedicated with their job, and we've seen a lot of PUP graduates not just in one department.
They turn out to adapt very well and adjust well to our company here in the Philippines. They're productive employees and they stay with us for a long time.
Stand out sa PUP graduate is their loyalty sa company.
Integrity and ethics, drive for results, intellectual capacity, and adaptability. So, when we hire PUPians, they have this kind of competencies.
Of course, they're very intelligent people, responsible. Responsible in a sense because whenever we meet these graduates and we ask them what are their future plans, they would always come up with answers like helping out their family, or because I'm done with school, I'll help out another sibling. So you would know already that these kids, even before they actually embark on certain work, they already have goals in mind.
They're not maarte, no? Whatever you give them, they know that if it's for the purpose of the job, they will do it. And so they have, they're the ones that survive the challenges of work. They don't shirk away from responsibilities. They're the type who, whatever the job requires, they're up for the challenge.
PUPians enable people everywhere to grow and thrive.
PUP is one of the pillars of the nation because it is an institution that provides good graduates, people who really contribute to the success of the community or to the success of the country.
To all the people associated with PUP, if you're a graduate, congratulations, and you should be proud of yourselves. For those of you that are students, please continue the tradition, the proud legacy that your school has. Some of you, PUP, you work for us now. We appreciate you. We know you're good employees. For those of you that might work for us in the future, please consider us. We'd love to have you. We know that you make a great employee for ours.
PUPians, bring everything you are. If you have big ideas, let's talk. Come work where passion meets possibility. You can visit jobs.del.com for opportunities.
To pursue your dreams and work hard for whatever endeavor you will choose. And in the event that you will choose to apply in one of the fastest BPO companies in the Philippines, I would like to invite you to apply in EGS, an Alorica company, because our doors are open for all of you.
To all the PUPians, let's create a Science of Smile together.
Smart is very happy to have PUP graduates now enjoying their career and let them live more.
Hashtag Sites to PUP. We will support you in more ways than one.
Tara na, maging magkasama na tayo. Mabuhay ang PUP.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ayaw magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, gulatan ng magiging, sa manlulupin, di ka masisingil, sa lahat ng tulog, sa singer at sa lalim mong babang, nagilanang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdiligin, tuwing na araw ng kailan pa malimaginig. Lumarang araw ng 100% buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang higaya ng pag-ay makakamit, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Hi, I'm Engineer Florinda H. Oquindo, Director of the Alumni Relations and Career Development Office. The role of our office is to keep connections among students and alumni, provides complete range of services to students, alumni, and employers in the area of career development, graduates and professional schools preparations, employee relations, and campus recruitment. We also provide alumni and students with the tools and resources to help find success in all professional endeavors. To all freshmen, please come and visit us. Our office is located at N209 North Wing 2nd floor.
Safe afternoon, everyone. My name is Mavel B. Lagarde, and it is with tremendous pleasure that I welcome you all to our 2021 year-round career development webinars. Today is all about uncovering career preparation and information. Let me start this webinar by recognizing our participants from the different colleges and branches of PUP, specifically the following: Cabiao Nueva Ecija, Sablayan, Bataan, Quezon City, and of course, from PUP main campus. Hello, everyone. So to proceed, I would like you to listen as I read the virtual etiquette. Okay, please always remember to keep your microphones on mute. For participating in today's webinar, we will be having one topic for this afternoon's webinar. Attendees will be given the opportunity to ask questions and will be entertained during open forum at the end of the session. Attendees via Zoom may use the chat box located at the lower part of the screen. Kindly type your name, for this shall serve as our cue for the open forum. Attendees via Facebook or YouTube live stream may send their questions or comments using the comment section. Digital certificate will be released 2 to 3 weeks after the conduct and be given to those who attended participated, and accomplished the evaluation form given at the end of the session. And lastly, the link of the evaluation form will be flashed in the comment box during or after the conduct. It will also be posted on our FB page. Just a reminder, the form will be accessible only 6 hours after the webinar. Okay? So, before I let you meet our first speaker for today, please do watch this AVP. All right. So our speaker for this afternoon's webinar is a representative of Accenture INC. Well, according to my research, Accenture is known for its diverse range of service offerings and has 5 main practice areas. These include strategy, management, digital, technology, and operations consulting. The firm is consistently ranked as one of the top firms in the world. Well, we are very lucky that we have them this afternoon. To discuss to us about interview tips, let us all welcome the project manager of Accenture INC, Mr. Roderick M. Fortes. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Thanks, Mabel, for that great introduction.
Welcome po.
All right, so I'll share my screen. So first of all, let me greet everyone. I hope you're all safe and healthy at your respective homes with your family. I know this is quite a difficult time for all of us, but I'm sure being Filipinos will be able to get over it. No? So today we'll be talking about some tips on how to advance our careers. Actually, there's a lot of things that we can actually discuss, but we only have a limited time. So, but anyway, I'll show you some references later on and some techniques so that even after our discussion, you'll be able to go through it. All right. So, So I won't go here in details here, but maybe just a reminder to make this session very informative for all of us. Be sure to write down your questions. Later on, at the end of the session, we'll have some time to actually answer some of them. So don't hesitate to ask. I think this is a great opportunity for everyone, no, to be familiar, to know what are the techniques on how to get our first job, no, for especially for most of us, right? So don't hesitate, write down your questions and be ready to ask them later. All right, so we have two main topics for today: how to ace your interviews and how to make your resume stand out. So I'll probably give myself a short introduction. So I'm Eric Fortes. You can call me Eric. I've been with Accenture since 2004. I am a systems management and operations project manager. I have over 20 plus years IT experience. So why? Just to make it more probably more informative, I'll try to share my own experiences, on as an interviewer. What are the things that I actually look for in an interviewee, no? And hopefully it will be helpful for you as you go on and try to go and look for your careers, right? So before I go there, Accenture actually has a lot of training materials, and we have actually shared it out to the public. One of them is this Skills to Succeed Academy. It's a website that contains online trainings, tools, tips on how to choose your right career, for example, or how to get hired. And of course, probably more important is how to succeed at work, right? So what I've said a while ago, we won't have enough time to actually discuss all the items that would be helpful for your careers. But I would suggest, if you have time, to go to and log into s2sacademy.ph. It's free, and later on, I'll show a quick demo on how to navigate the sites, and also share some registration code for those who doesn't want to register their own account now. So we'll go through that in detail. So a few of those items that you will find in the site, we will try to cover for today. All right, so how do we ace our interview? Well, uh, let's start with the basic or most important. I guess everyone knows this now. We have to prepare. If I would really put it very bluntly, not only prepare. I would do it prepare as many times as you can. Remember, this would be your opportunity to actually work with a company of your choice. So make sure that you are ready when you go into that interview. All right. Um, for me as an interviewer, I am not really that inclined to try to get as much information from your answers, but rather I would really look more on how you are confident, if how you are prepared for the interview, and how you will be able to navigate through the difficult questions. So preparation cannot be understated. I cannot understate preparation. It's very, very important. Now, how do we prepare? It's of course it's impossible to actually know what the questions that you might have during your interview, but there are the common ones. And here are three of them. Can you tell me a bit about yourself? What are your strengths? What do you want to work for this company? All right. Now, as early as now, I will tell you, when you answer interview questions, make your answers short and simple, right? At the same time, if you feel that your answers are not enough, you can always ask the interviewer, is there anything that you would like me to expand on, right? Don't try to talk too much. Listen, one of the traits of a good interviewee is that he or she knows he or she knows how to listen. So it's really more important that you show your listening capabilities, no? All right. So when asked about yourself, always have that short opening statement ready, no? About your professional skills, your expertise, no? Don't make it too long. Probably one or two sentences that would be sufficient. All right. What is important is you give your interviewer a sense on what your skills are and why are you applying for this role, right? So the next question, what are your strengths? So think of the strengths that you possess, but more important is try to align it with what job you are applying for. All right. So for example, if you're applying for, let's say, a media role, right? So you have to exemplify your communication skills, right? If you're applying for an IT job, then you have to show that you have IT skills, right? So try to align your strengths with what you are applying for, all right? And of course, you have to also demonstrate when were you able to actually demonstrate this. Now, I understand that most of you are still undergrads, right? But there are a number of ways that you can actually share this, right? For example, like I said, if you want communication, right? So maybe you can say that you were part of a community group, right? So how were you able to demonstrate your communication skills being part of a group, or let's say a school organization, right? So you can always try to relate in what you're currently doing right now in your college life. And the third one, why do you want to work for this company? Again, as preparation, make sure to do some research about the company you're applying for. Uh, right now, it's almost unjustifiable if you will come to an interview without knowing more about the company, because most of the companies right now are already online. You can find those information in the internet. So being prepared, knowing more about the company when you go into that interview, the interviewer will be able to assess that you really prepared for this interview, and it will give you some bonus points, right? So these are just the common questions. So how about the more difficult ones? So let's see a couple of questions here now. Can you explain the gaps in your employment? And how do you handle criticism? Again, as a reminder, keep it short and simple, right? So how do you answer these questions? For the first one, you can say, how long why have you not been in work? You can be very honest. No? You should be very honest. Uh, pick give some samples on what you were doing or what you were doing while were not you are not working. Like you were trying to improve your skills, and then also share what have you learned, being jobless, right? What have you learned? How did it help you become a better person, right? How to handle criticism? You can share one example when you receive criticism, probably in school, right? And then state how you handled it. And then focus on what you actually learned. What are the positive things that came out uh, because of that criticism? All right, so you will notice now these are two questions, but actually they are talking about difficult situations. And basically the essence of difficult questions is it want to put us on a difficult um, a difficult situation. How do we navigate it? How do we handle it? All right. So um, what's important in terms of these questions is not really what happened, but really what happened after. What did we learn? So we must always focus on what was the positive things that came out of this negative situation. Um, later on, we'll show a technique called a CAR, context action result, and that can be a way on how you will handle difficult questions. All right. So these are just a few questions. Make sure you do your research. Prepare, prepare, prepare. All right. So let's talk about first impressions. So for this one, I'll show a video. Ah, let me try to reshare. I'm not sure if I shared this properly. All right. Just to make sure I share this properly, I'll play so that you can hear the videos. All right, let's play.
You never get a second chance when it comes to an interview or comes to seeking a job. The first impression is key. One of the things you want to do is prepare. Look at how you're presenting yourself. The presentation is key. How you're dressed, how you come across. Practice those things because there's only one time that you get in that interview.
Being nice is the best way to go. Always be nice to each and every person on your way to the interview. I remember my first year out of school, graduating college, my first interview, I was walking to the place. The person in front of me had dropped some papers. I helped her out with it. We go to the same floor. Lo and behold, I found out she was the one who was interviewing me. So you never know who you're going to meet. You know, they say it's a small world, and it really is a small world. And yes, I did get that job.
All right. So let's do a quick debrief. So in the video, it states, right, that we should treat our interviews like it's our last chance. No? It's our last chance to get that job. We won't get a second chance at an interview. So that's why it's very important that we come into an interview very much prepared. All right. Practice before the actual interview and try to research on what the possible questions that might come out. Also, in the video, it said that when you go into your interview, be sure that you're on your best behavior, right? Smile. Once you enter the building, smile. Be confident, no? And greet everyone that you would meet, no? This would help you actually be more confident during the interview, give you some positive vibes. And at the same time, who knows, right? The person you might meet in the elevator, in the office door, right, is actually the one who will make the interview, right? So that would actually be a good first impression. Now, I would just like to add here, no, because like I said, we weren't able to cover all. But one first impression that is also very important, and I guess you already know this, is that we should be always on time. No, we should always strive to be on time, especially during our interviews. So try to be there as early as possible. And in case, for example, you encounter some issues going into the site, into the office, make sure you have a contact from on the employer, an employer contact, that so that if you are running late for some reasons, right, you have to call the company and let them know what the situation is and ask them if they still want to go ahead with the interview or can we just reschedule, right? So that is being very professional, all right? So remember, first impression is very important. All right, so let's talk about body language. So body language during an interview shares a lot of information. No? It's very easy for an interviewer to know if an interviewee is confident, if the interviewee is interested, positive attitude, good listener. So just by our body language, we will be able to show, what our current thought of mind is. So let's go through some of the samples that we should remember whenever we are in an interview session. So let's first talk about our posture. So posture reflects how energetic we are, how attentive we are, no? How interested we are on the job we are applying. If we're slouching, no, we're giving a reflection that we are not interested in work or maybe we're lazy. Right? So we have to be alert. Our posture should be open and alert and avoid crossing our arms. No? When we are talking with someone that has her arms closed, no, what do we feel? Diba parang we're not comfortable. It's like that person doesn't want to listen to us. So make sure that our arms are not crossed. Eye contact, it's very important. We have to maintain eye contact with our interviewer. It lets them know that we are interested in the job, in the interview, and we are good listeners. Um, there are occasions that it might be difficult for us to look directly to the eye. So in those situations, look at the nose. It has the same effect. No? Do not stare, and most important, do not let your eyes wander too much. You can do a quick glance around the office, but make sure that your focus goes back immediately to the interviewer. Handshake, no? So this is something that we can do before and after the interview. It gives a very good impression on how confident we are. Um, let's follow the lead of the interviewer. No? If he's giving us a slight handshake, do not try to overpower him. Right? If he's giving you a hard handshake, then try to match his strength. That's one way that's one way we would know if if a candidate is confident or not, no? Is professional or not. Hand gestures are also important. No? When you do interview, don't move your hands too much, because what will happen is the interviewer might get distracted. No? Instead of listening to your answers, he might miss some of your response. So one way to practice this is like I said earlier, right? Before you actually go to the interview, practice before, the day before. Use a mirror and look at how you are um, you are making hand gestures. Uh, you can also video yourself during practices, so you would see, what are the things that you should avoid. All right. And then most important, I think that the most important one for me is smile. No? Smile makes the interview much easier. No? It shows confidence on your part, but at the same time, it encourages your interviewer to smile back at you. All right. So don't forget to smile. All right. So we mentioned a lot, no? How do we show that we are confident, especially for us, no? When this would be our first time to actually do an interview, what are the techniques that we can have? One of the techniques that we commonly use is what we call the power pose, no? So just to be able to explain more effectively, I'll let this video play.
The power of posing. Power posing is the act of taking a posture of confidence, even when you don't feel so confident, and making yourself feel at ease. Power posing a couple minutes before an interview can decrease stress and boost confidence. There are many poses you can take moments before your next interview, but here are a few of our favorites. Wonder Woman. Push your chest out and put both hands on your hips. Stand with your feet apart. President. Rest your feet on the table, put your hands behind your head, and lean back. Careful not to fall back. Tarzan. Lean forward with both hands on the table. Cheerleader. Stand tall, feet apart, shoulders wide, and hands up in the air. You can put your hands into fists for an extra boost. Billionaire. Rest your arm on the back of the chair you are sitting in, put your feet apart, and recline. Adding a little confidence allows you to put your best foot forward. At your next interview, if you're feeling a little nervous, remember to pause, take a breath, and try striking a power pose. Good luck.
All right. So power pose. So that's a very nice technique if you want to build confidence before your interview. uh, do a power pose, 30-second power pose, right? Actually, before this session, I did a power pose myself. So try to practice it, try to develop. No, actually, the samples that were mentioned, Wonder Woman, President, Tarzan, Cheerleader, Billionaire, those are just samples of power poses. There are a lot more. No, you can search and find the one where you are comfortable with. All right, so let's put it all together. How do we ace our interviews? So let's watch this video and let me know if you have any questions.
Ace your interview. 5 secrets to success. 1. Make a good first impression. Your interview starts from the moment you walk into the door. Greet your interviewer with a firm handshake, warm smile, and eye contact. Make sure your cell phone is on silent and is put away so it's not a distraction to you or the interviewer. 2. Dress for success. Make sure your clothes are clean, unwrinkled, and fit properly. Avoid wearing very heavy makeup or over-accessorizing. Be light on the perfume or cologne. 3. Talk clearly and concisely. Take your time when speaking so your interviewer can understand what you are saying. Don't rush through your answers. At the same time, be concise. Fast, not too slow, not too much information, and not too little.
Wala siya, ma'am. Cortez. Ma'am.
Hi. So everyone, I think Sir Cortez encountered difficulty in connection. So far, anyone have a question to Sir Eric para pag nakapasok siya, he can already entertain your questions? Anyone? Wala pa? Wala pa tayong tanungan.
Okay. Chemistry nandito. B. Hernandez. Accenture naman.
Is there anyone, another representative from Accenture we have here inside our Zoom meeting?
Hi, Miss Lavelle. This is V.
Hi.
Hernandez.
Hi, good afternoon, Miss V.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, sorry about what happened with Sir Eric. He's reconnecting as of right now po.
Ayan, actually,
Hi,
I
Sir
can see him
Eric.
na.
Thank
Hello,
you, Ma'am
Sir Eric.
Wow,
Welcome.
akala ko pa naman, nakalusot na ako ah.
Ayos, sir. Ayos yung travel mo, sir. Anyway.
Alright, saan ba ako naputol? Yun sa video?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Natapos ba yung video? Hindi.
Hindi po, sir.
Let's play it again.
Okay, sir.
Sorry ah. Naglolo
No
ko
worries.
yung connection ko. Alright.
Understandable po. Sige po.
Okay, I'll play it again.
Okay.
Ace your interview. 5 secrets to success. 1. Make a good first impression. Your interview starts from the moment you walk into the door. Greet your interviewer with a firm handshake, warm smile, and eye contact. Make sure your cell phone is on silent and is put away so it's not a distraction to you or the interviewer. 2. Dress for success. Make sure your clothes are clean, unwrinkled, and fit properly. Avoid wearing very heavy makeup or over-accessorizing. Be light on the perfume or cologne. 3. Talk clearly and concisely. Take your time when speaking so your interviewer can understand what you are saying. Don't rush through your answers. At the same time, be concise. Make sure you are answering the question that was asked. 4. Give thoughtful responses. When answering a question, give just the right amount of information at the right pace. If you need to, pause for a few seconds to think about your response. Not too fast, not too slow. Not too much information and not too little information. Remember the CAR technique: context, action, result. 5. Maintain positive body language. Have good posture and look alert. Ask questions and be curious to show you are interested in the job.
So just a quick
Relax
debrief.
and
So
breathe.
there are
You
5
will do
steps
great.
that were
Good
mentioned.
luck.
Make a good impression. We mentioned a while ago, right? There are a lot of ways to do that. Smile, be on time, dress for success. Of course, that's very important. Dress appropriately based on the interview that you will attend, right? Talk clearly and concisely. Now, there are a couple of tips here. When you answered a question, you can try to add in, did I answer your question correctly, right? So that's one, and it the similar way to what I mentioned earlier, right? Do you want me to expound on anything else, right? So always end your question with consideration on the interviewer whether you were able to answer his or her question correctly. Now, give thoughtful answers. As remember the difficult questions, no? The CAR technique, context, action, result. So, what happened during that difficult situation? Provide context. What action did you take based on that difficult situation? And more important, what was the result, the positive result? What have you learned? What came out positive during that difficult situation? So remember that technique, the CAR technique: context, action, result. And lastly, maintain body language, right? So we covered quite a few items. No? Just to summarize, we looked into some of the common and difficult questions to expect during an interview. We also discussed how to make a good impression, and also how to have a good body language during your interview. Right. There are a lot more can be shared in terms of how to ace your interview. So after this session, feel free to go to the s2sacademy.ph website. Look for the Ace Your Interview training. If you are not registered, you can use this access code on the screen for the registration to the training. All right. So later on, I'll also do a quick demo. All right. So let's go now to how to make our resume stand out. Right. So why is this important? No, because remember, even before we get to the interview, the resume will be the first item that we will need to provide. All right. So don't make your resume too long. 1 or 2 page should be enough. For me, 1 page is best, right? It's important to summarize all the key skills, the information that are needed for the job. You can summarize it in 1 page. You don't have to expound. Remember that your resume will just share what your an overview on what your skills are. Leave the explanation during the interview. And the the critical part there is that you have to be in that interview. You have to have that interview. So make sure that your resume are short, concise, and have the relevant information. All right. So what do we need to put in our resume? So of course, the personal details. Use your real name in your email address. Don't Don't make shortcuts. Don't attach photo unless it is asked. In most cases, attaching photos is not of the interview, and it is during that interview where you will have the opportunity to show how good you are. So you don't actually have to put a photo. Of course, there are some situations where the employer might ask for a photo. Then do ask, no, if it's really needed. And if a photo is needed, make sure that you use a studio taken photo. Digital photos are not that professional, right? It's much better, and of course, it's much clearer. No? Some studio photos are really very good quality. In terms of education, use the chronological order with your most recent educational, no, achievement. Make sure that you highlight any academic rewards that you receive during your school days. Right? For your work experience, similarly, you be chronological. No, don't write too much about each job experience. Just to put probably at a maximum 3. Um, and then if there are any specific achievements that you got based on that role, make sure to also include it in your resume. Then always also the same. Use the most recent one. Put the most recent ones on top. And if it's more than 5 years, don't put it anymore. Unless you're using it. No? But if you're not using it, then it might not be relevant. Also, you will notice in terms of technology, a lot of new software technologies comes out, no, every a few years. So what we have learned 5 years ago might not be relevant anymore. Okay. Relevant skills and interests indicate skills that are relevant to the job. Uh, um, it's very important. Don't try to put everything. Just highlight the ones that are relevant so that when the employer reviews your resume, it will immediately stand out. All right. So if you put too much there, like for example, if I'm looking for a good communicator, right? If there's so much in your resume, I might actually miss that particular skill that I'm looking for. Right. So try to highlight the ones that are relevant to the job you're applying for. And for character references, make sure that you talk to the person you will put as your character reference. Give him a copy of your resume, and make sure that he will be able to share what are his positive experiences in terms of working with you, being with you as a person. And if you put it, it really gives an employer a good background on whether he wants to continue reading through your resume. No? And it also appears to be very professional. So put in a summary statement about yourself. So what do we need to put there? Key skills and experience, objectives, or any achievements that would make your resume stand out, right? So what are the things to do and not to do on a resume? So have a specific objective, tailor it to a specific job. All right, don't sometimes we tend to create a resume and we send the same resume to all the jobs we're applying for. Sometimes we need to make some changes to it to make it more relevant to the employer we're applying for, right? Advertise your skills. Don't hesitate to show which skills are relevant, and especially for the job you're applying for. Okay. Lead with your most qualifying experience. If there are some, for example, if you have some, let's say, trainings or work experience that are not relevant to the job you're applying for, you might not want to write that in detail. You can just gloss at it, no? Just put a short description about it, but put more emphasis on those that are relevant. All right, especially if you have any accomplishments in your work on your school, or may difficult to read. Right? Use bullet points, bold type, capital letters, or underlines. No? Check the continuity. No? Review your resume. Make sure that it's accurate. Um, in there are occasions where when I interview a person, I find out that uh, his or her resume is not correct. So for me, that appears to be unprofessional, right? He didn't review his resume, so that's a no-no, right? So make sure if you have someone close to you, make sure that he or she reviews it on your behalf. Okay, and of course, use good paper. Things not don't state your salary in the resume. That's not spend. You can always negotiate the salary when you're already in the interview. So don't put it in your resume. Don't overstate or understate your qualification. Be honest. Uh, like I said, no, we don't expect our applicants to be 100% fit. The intangibles, the ones that we are really looking for are, for example, honesty, confidence, right? And good listening skills. If you have those attributes, then even if you don't have the 100% of all the qualifications, you can be considered for the job. Okay. So you employed for a few months or years, right? You don't need to put that in your resume. Let the interview uh, let it be discussed during the interview if it will come out. Just be sure that you are prepared. And also don't use acronyms that will be unfamiliar to your employer, right? So break it down, make it clear. So here's a sample of a classic student resume. So you will notice there's the qualification summary, the summary statement, right? And because she's a student, so she highlighted her education, and you would notice her achievements, right? Being the Dean Lister and having a 3.1 GPA, she highlighted it in her resume because that's one of her achievements in school. So if you receive any award that is relevant, no, that's something might be important, no, to the employer. Make sure to indicate it, even if it's just in school or some maybe in your community. If you receive a special award, right, put it there. Uh, Maybe just reading through this: child growth and development, early childhood assessment, language literacy methods, and child, family, and community. So what can we assess, right? Probably she's applying for a community work, right? Because most of these are really related to child development. So she made her resume relevant to the job she is applying for. All right. So another sample, this is now an example of a person with a lot of experience. All right. So again, she had her profile summaries, a summary statement. And remember, it's short, 1 or 2 sentences. That's good enough. Professional skills, she started with which is probably effective communication and then customer service. So just looking at the resume, right? I would assume that probably this person is applying for a BPO job, right? All right. So make sure to work on your resume. You have multiple copies depending on what you want to highlight, depending on the job you're applying for, right? And make sure that it's relevant to that position that you would like to work on. All right. Some of the buzzwords that are important in a resume are, for example, communication, leadership, dynamic. No? Remember to put these buzzwords because most of the time employers will look for it or they will catch their attention. No? One more example, no, of a buzzword I can share probably is proactive, being proactive. All right. So if you can put that in your resume, that's quite good, right? But remember to be sure that if you put it in your resume, you would be able to back it up during the interview. Right. So you have to be able to state some examples. For example, where did you show your good communication skills, your leadership qualities, right? How were you being proactive? All right. And as I've mentioned earlier, in terms of answering questions similar to resume, be positive. No. Don't put negative thoughts in your resume. Be positive. Put positive experiences. Let's put it all together. So here's another video. I'll play that.
How to make your resume stand out. Step 1. Think of your achievements. When writing your resume, think about some of the achievements that you can include to really make it stand out. Paint a picture of how you went above and beyond in personal or professional activities or previous jobs. To help think of your achievements, you can ask yourself some questions like, what did I do above and beyond my normal duties? Was I ever recognized for a job well done? Did I find ways to make processes more efficient? What problems did I solve? Did I consistently meet or exceed goals, and how? Step 2. Quantify your achievements. This means adding facts, figures, and numbers wherever appropriate. For example, instead of saying you created store displays, a better way to say it is created 20 different store displays over 3 months. Step 3. Tie your achievement to a benefit. To make your achievement stand out even more, tie it to how it has benefited your boss or your company. For example, try created 20 different store displays over 3 months, increasing sales by 20%. Hiring managers may receive hundreds of resumes a week. Finding ways to effectively highlight your achievements can bring you one step closer to landing the job.
All right. So just to review, so how do we make our resume stand out? The achievements play a significant part now. When we think of achievements, make sure that we are able to quantify them if it's possible. And what was the benefit um, of the achievement, right? What did it result to, right? Of course, there are occasions that it might be difficult to actually put a benefit component to it, right? So if it's possible to put it there, then make sure you indicate it. Don't hesitate to put it in your resumes. All right. So in summary, again, we covered just a few topics related to how to make your resume stand out. We studied how to make your resume short and relevant. And we also discussed how to highlight your achievements, no, and with facts and benefits. So this is again just a few of the things that we can learn from the s2sacademy.ph website. If you want to learn more work-life balance, for example, right? Go to the s2sacademy.ph site, and you can use the same access code, 05CRCF, for registration for most of the trainings that are found there. All right, so I promised you a demo, so I'll switch my share to the S2S Academy site. Okay. Let me know if you don't see my screen. So this is the Skills to Succeed Academy website. You can register using your personal email. So you have your own account when you go to the site. That's an option. Or as I mentioned earlier, there is a registration code that you can use to access some of the trainings. Now, what's good here is there's also a wizard that you can use depending on what you want to look for. For example, if I am starting because you want, I'm looking for a job, right? And just click next. And then there's a second question. What do you like to focus on, right? So let's say you want to focus on writing an application form, right? So you can see here afterwards the recommended courses. Right? There's quite a number, right? So there's a lot, right? And then if you want to change, you want to try a different one, you can just go back and then press change, and it will go back to the first screen, right? Or if you want, you can go and try the ones, the popular topics. We mentioned the create your CV resume. We discussed that. And also there's also the practice your interview skills. And there are actually a lot more. If you scroll down, there are a number. Choose a career, there are 6 modules. Getting a job, 20 modules. So success in work. And there are also some courses here that are related more on the digital economy, right? So there are a lot of things that you might learn in the Skills to Succeed Academy website of Accenture. So feel free to try it out and maximize it. It's free. You can either register or you can use the registration code I shared before. All right, so given that I think we've done with our presentation, and we're ready to take your questions.
Thank you for the plenty of food for thought, Sir Fortes. You did not only share about interviewing, but also have shared to our students creating resume. Thank you very much. At this moment, we will now proceed to the open forum. Let's start with this question from one of our participants. Sir, how can you manage nervousness in front of the interviewers?
Nice. There's a couple. The first one is, well, before going to the interview, try the power pose. Try to find what power pose you're confident in. No? Myself, I do the bodybuilder power pose. You know, alam niyo yung bodybuilder, yung parang Superman, no? And I do it when I'm in the elevator, so no one notices it. So I see a lot of people around, diba? It builds confidence. Now, if you can do it in the elevator with a lot of people, why not with your interviewer? So do your power pose before the interview, probably 30 seconds. And then when you're in the interview, smile. No, smile. Smile is one way that you will release some of your tension during the interview, right? And it will also make your interviewer relax. And don't worry when you go in the interview. No, it's not life or death. It's your you should be excited. Now, for me, if what I would probably tell you guys is when you go in the interview, it's like you're going on your first date, di ba? Be excited. Be adventurous. You want to learn more about your employer, di ba? And they want to learn more from you. So think positive. Don't be nervous when you're in an interview. Think that it's not it's not that critical. It's not that life threatening for you. Enjoy the interview, diba? And ask questions. When you're already in the interview, and you don't feel confident, you can ask questions. You can ask questions, and you already start the conversation. All right. So those are a few tips. Or again, go to the S2S Academy site for more.
Thank you, sir. And we have also this one from Christian J. Villanueva from Department of Economics, PUP Maine. So first question niya po is, I have obtained permission from my former professor and principal from my former school. Won't it look like a taxing job if I send them a copy of my resume and have them review it just in case the HR from the company I am applying for calls them?
Sorry, I didn't get it. There's a pain certification information. What's
If it won't be ano ba daw ba, a taxing job if I send them a copy of my resume and have them review it just in case the HR from the company I am applying for calls them.
Sorry, hindi ko nakuha yung question. Can you repeat it, Mabel?
From
Nahanap ko
my
rin siya actually.
from my based from my ano po yung pagkakaintindi ko po is I think yung company na ina-applyan niya is call doon sa school na bibigyan niya ng resume. Kung magiging taxing job daw po ba iyon? Kung magbibigay daw siya ng resume doon sa para ma-review just in case the HR. Medyo malabo yan.
Probably she was mentioning he is mentioning yung providing a copy on your character reference. No?
Maybe parang ganun
so,
po.
Well, actually yung character reference should be a person. It should be a person you are close with, you have worked with before. It could be your supervisor, it could be one of your professors na you worked with, no? Of course, yung ibibigay mong character reference is yung you had positive experiences with, di ba? So if that person is close to you and or you have worked with you closely, then she shouldn't mind na you make him a character reference. Anyway, you're gonna ask him naman beforehand, di ba? And if sinabi niyang okay, then okay, di lagay mo siya. If sabi niya ayaw niya, wag niyo siya ilagay. Kasi most probably pag nilagay niyo siya, baka ibagsak niya kayo pag tumawag yung HR sa kanya, no? So talk to your character references if they are willing to be placed in your resume.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Another question from him. Are there modifications to the handshake gesture since we are in the middle of a pandemic?
Don't worry. Ano yan? Pang ano na yan? Pag nasa...
face to face.
Normal na situation tayo. Of course, kapag other ways, when I worked before in a Japanese company, and in the Japanese company, we do the bow. Yeah? So that's one way. Or sometimes, pwede yung imaginary handshake na lang.
Correct.
All right. So yeah, there are a lot of ways.
Okay, the third one. So can I back up leadership experience by being a class president? Since I have not been involved with the student council or whatnot for the past 4 years already.
But he's a class president. Yeah, if there are achievements of what was your achievement as a class president, di ba? If you can quantify that or state, no, right? Let's say, di ba, you led a classroom activity, right?
Yes.
And you state what that activity was and how did it benefit. It doesn't matter how big or small the role is. The important part of that is the what was the result, what was the attributes that were shown because of that activity. So yeah, I would encourage if there is an achievement attached to it.
Yes, I also agree, sir. And actually, during recognition, class presidents are being issued a certificate. Kasi medyo mabigat nga po ang class presidents eh. Pag nasa klase, especially sa college. Kasi siya yung nagiging bridge between the teacher and the class.
Noong time
Okay.
ko, yung class president yung nanlilibre pag walang baon.
Wow! Ang hirap maging class president
Kaya
pala
paging
sa
class
inyo.
president,
Okay. This one naman po is from Jordani Karamat. Good afternoon po, sir. Tanong ko po, sir, kung nakaka-disappoint po ba sa interviewer kapag nagtataglish ang isang interviewee? Thank you po.
Well, it depends, no? Pero in most occasion, no, hindi naman. No? It especially if you're in the Philippines, di ba? It doesn't matter if you do Taglish. It's fine. Actually, it's much better rather than trying to force na magsalita ng direct English and you're struggling. No? It doesn't matter for me. But there are occasions, for example, right, that you have to really speak English. And there are those situations, especially if your employer is a foreigner. Right? So
yes.
If you speak in Taglish or in Tagalog, sometimes they might interpret it incorrectly. Right? So my suggestion is, maybe my tip for you, if you're gonna interview for a foreign company, right? Make sure to ask your contact if the interviewer will be a foreigner or it will be a Filipino. Para you'll be prepared when you go into the interview, di ba?
That's correct. Okay, thank you, sir. A few more questions, sir. From Mary Ann Asibar, if the interviewer asks if the interviewee has any
hesitate
questions.
to ask
Sorry.
your contact. You can ask sino ba yung mag-interview. Ask the contact person, yung HR na kumontak sa inyo. Ask her contact number. It can be very important. There are many occasions that it might be very useful.
Right. Period na yun, sir. Sorry, nawawala-wala po kasi yung connection eh. So, nag-overlapping tayo. Okay.
Hindi pa yata ako nakapagbayad.
From Mary Ann Asibar, again, sir, ito po yung tanong niya. If the interviewer asks if the interviewee has any questions, can I possibly ask if I did well during the interview and or ask the salary rate? Or ask the chance of me getting hired in the position I applied for? Kung pwede daw po ba yun magtanong?
Again, well, for me, if you ask that, no, it just shows that you are interested in the job. You want to know, how did you do? Diba? That's a good question. How did I do in this? And your interviewer will actually give you an honest answer, no, whether you did good or bad. But maybe my suggestion is, regardless, just be ready on what the feedback is. Remember, we should take criticism as constructive feedback. If we receive a negative feedback from our interview, take it as a learning experience so that we can do better. And that's a fact. All of us will go through that. We will encounter failures even through our interviews. So feel free to ask any question. No? Actually, most interviewers will ask you, do you have any questions for me? Diba? Yun yung sometimes the last question from an interviewer. So if ganon yun, then that's your opportunity. How did I do in my interview? With a smile. Diba? All right. So that might actually, baka doon magbago yung isip ng interviewer.
Correct. Okay. So some of the messages saying, thank you so much, sir, for bringing light to my questions. More power po. Ayan. So eto, may pahabol daw pong question. Applicable pa rin po ba yung if being asked in English language, answer in English language only? And if being asked in Tagalog language, you can answer in Tagalog language.
Uh, sorry, yung question niya is, if English yung question, can we answer in Tagalog?
Opo.
Yeah.
No. Kung English daw po yung question, dapat daw po ba English rin yung sagot? Tapos pag Tagalog daw po yung question, dapat daw po ba Tagalog yung sagot?
In most cases, yes, pero it doesn't really have that much bearing. Remember, the interviewer is really more on how confident you are as an interviewee and how attentive you are, no? And also how are you a good listener? So yung mga traits of a person. Kasi remember, why are we being interviewed? Because this person will be reporting for us, will be working for us. So our expectation is, if you're accepted, this would be your personality. This would be who you are when you are working in the company. So in most cases, the interviewer will actually look at that. Is this the type of person who would I like to work with, diba? So it doesn't really matter whether you answer in English or Tagalog or Taglish, diba? What's more important is you are able to convey that you are interested in the job and you want to work with the company, and you are a very positive person. So yeah, so be confident. Answer kung ano gusto niyo masagot. Kahit Bisaya, okay lang yan.
Correct. Thank you, sir. So I
Alright.
think yung participants natin ay very connected
Marami pa ba?
doon sa ating sa ating topic. Meron pa po,
Alright.
sir eh.
Sige lang,
Okay.
go lang.
From John Paul Peralta. So this is from our Facebook Live. Comment po nila, was it a good strategy if you associate your CV or resume's template, specifically the color scheming of the company's color or logo?
Wow, that's a good question. That's a good question. Well, it depends. Kasi let's just make you the most important part of the resume is always the content. No? It really we can make it more attractive, pero it's really the content that will really make it good or bad. No, will make it effective or not. So if it's, for example, you're applying for an art company, di ba? So probably that might apply. But if you're working, let's say applying for, let's say, an IT, you can put some design there, pero just make sure that the skills, the information are relevant to the IT company you're applying for. So yeah, you can spice up your resume. Kasi I agree, no, na baka if your resume is quite artistic, it can get the attention of the employer, especially kapag merong 100 na nasa table, then yung one is very colorful. Pero just make sure if you do that the content is really worth it, diba? So yeah.
I also agree. Thank you, sir. Another from Liana Vanessa. Good afternoon, Sir Eric. May I ask, how can we respectfully negotiate our salary? Ano po yung boundaries ng pakikipag-negotiate? Thank you.
Well, actually, that's a good question na naman. Ang gagaling ng mga question ng mga...
Ang dami po nilang question. Talagang interesado po sila sa topic na na-discuss nyo po eh.
Makamano ako dito, may HR ako. Applying for. What I would suggest is, ang maganda sa internet right now, no, there's a lot of information available. You can actually check what is the current salary range for the type of work you're applying for. For example, if you're applying for a programmer, you can, and then a location, let's say Quezon City, you can actually search it in Google and you can find this is the range. So you'll have an idea. Right? Pero what I would suggest is don't be too fixated on what your preferred salary is, kasi there are a lot of factors that are driving the salary discussion. Investigate on the company that you are applying for. If it's a very good company, like Accenture, all right, if it's a very good company and there are a lot of opportunities, then probably the salary can be negotiated. No? Of course, you have to come in with your minimum. Ano ba yung pinaka-minimum na you would like to have, di ba? Pero you don't start with your minimum. So you can always have the discussion. Also, check with your interviewer if he is the right person to discuss the salary with. No? That's also very important kasi baka hindi rin naman siya. Especially for large companies, there are different type of interviews. There are the technical interview, there is the communication, the HR interview, and there's the final interview. All right. I would suggest na if you want to discuss salary, make sure you passed all the interviews before that. Kumbaga nasa final ka na, and that's where you start negotiating. Right. So just look at the salary only. There are others. No? There are the benefits, there are the trainings, diba? There are a lot of items. And the person in charge will be able to discuss it with you. All right. So I hope I answered her question, his question.
Thank you very much, sir. Last two questions na lang ang accommodate natin, sir.
Sige.
Kasi napakarami pa
Sige.
nila. Guys, kung meron pa kayong tanong, actually, meron pa po tayong darating na mga webinars na related din po sa gantong topics. So pwede po ulit tayong magtanong sa mga susunod po natin. So for now, we will be accommodating last two questions, okay?
All right.
So, if you are asked, this question is from Carlo J. Mimita. So if you are asked about your weaknesses, how will you answer it positively?
All right. Yeah, let's use the CAR technique: context, action, result. So provide context on what your weaknesses are. So for example, if you're communication, you're not good in communication. So that's your context. No? Why are you not good in your communication? Cite an example. And then what happened after when you provide context with that? Why are you not good in communication skills? What are the actions that you are taking to improve your communication skills? And then what are the things that you are currently doing right now? Like for example, I'm doing training, I'm doing English.
All right. So I think Sir Eric now talagang nasimot na siguro yung data ni Sir. Thank you very much, Sir Eric. Anyway, ang dami po nating nasagot na mga tanong ng ating participants. Very cooperative. Thank you so much, participants, Sir Eric, and everyone. So, Miss V and Miss Dimple from Accenture, also thank you from PUP. Let me just remind again the participants to please answer or access the link of the evaluation posted on our chat box or comment section of this webinar for you to receive your e-certificate 2 to 3 weeks after this day. Okay? So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our afternoon. Kung nabitin man kayo, do not worry, kasi marami pa tayong nakaschedule na talks for you guys to be prepared when you are out of the school and will look for a job for living. Okay, on behalf of Alumni Relations and Career Development Office, thank you all for making time in your busy schedules to join us here this afternoon. It's been our pleasure to host this event, and I wish you all a pleasant day. Once again, I'm Avel B. Lagarde, your MC, signing off. Goodbye, everyone.
Sa yaman, hanap na tulong. aming